Hi, welcome to Facebook Live. This is our Spotlight series. This is where we meet our member business owners who have built an exceptional business and have a story to share with you. So, first of all, I would like to thank you, Ms. Leah Noland. Um, and I'm going to call you the amazing Ms. Leah Noland, owner of Balloon Masters. And my name is Linda Smith, and I'm your host today. Welcome, everyone. Um, Leah, it's good to have you here. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good,
Yes.
good, good, good. Well, first of all, for those of for those of our friends who don't know, what is Balloon Masters?
Balloon Masters is an event decorating company,
Hmm?
but we specialize in doing everything with balloons.
Everything with balloons.
Everything
You've done some amazing stuff
except
for us.
for the little animal dogs.
No animal dogs.
No animal dogs.
Okay.
I don't know how to do those.
Well, you've done some grand stuff for the chamber. You really have.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you get started?
Some dear friends
Mhm.
of ours, of mine, Dan and Jenny Bender.
Mhm.
They were getting ready to retire from the state patrol, and so they wanted to do something to supplement their income.
Okay.
And so that was back in 1993,
Okay.
and kind of started working with them
Okay.
from there at that point. I had little kids at home, so I was kind of working when I was free. And then from there, in 2005, I bought the business from them. They were
Okay.
going to move to Las Vegas.
Okay.
So since then, I've been doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it hard to learn the trade? I mean,
Um, Believe it or not, there is a school that we went to, balloon certification.
so you have some letters behind your name.
I do.
Okay.
Certified CBA, which is certified balloon artist.
Okay.
And so I went to Chicago and
Mhm.
I've learned, went to some different industry shows
Mhm.
and kind of got our degree and took some tests and became a certified balloon artist.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So is this something is this an annual type of a
There's show or events all around the
okay.
country now that
Okay.
somebody who wants to get into this could absolutely go to different shows or classes to learn how to do it.
Okay. So do you upgrade your skill set, or do you just go to shows to get new ideas now?
I think new ideas, and
Mm,
you can always learn from somebody, whether it's a new
always.
type of glue, or how to rig things,
Okay.
up from 20-foot ceilings.
Got it. Okay. So there's a lot. There's a lot to be
There,
learned, right?
there is a lot to be learned.
Okay. So you do some impressive grand projects. One of the things that
Hmm.
I think about frequently is the chamber's annual chili cook-off, and you've done some amazing work. I wish I could have fished out those pictures. I
Oh,
apologize for that. Um, and I've seen some video as well as photography of some really, really big stuff that you've done. Now, do you do smaller jobs? Do you do stuff for, oh, I don't know, smaller gatherings and events and that type of thing?
yes, we do all sorts of events. I
Mm,
don't say no really to anybody unless we're booked out,
okay.
and when you have sometimes seven, I think last year, one weekend we had 12 events.
Oh
And I
my.
actually had to tell someone, no, we cannot add one more thing
Wow.
to that event,
No, no.
to that weekend. And I
Okay.
staggered it and we were able to get it done.
Okay.
So feel very blessed
Okay.
that
So during COVID, there there was a period of time where there were really no gatherings, but I think that maybe you were involved with helping people that had um, family members graduating and that type of thing. I think that you did smaller things
much
for
smaller.
families.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people came and picked up
Mm,
decor It was very popular to put stuff in the yard,
Right.
drive-through baby showers or
Oh, yeah. Baby showers.
baby
Okay.
showers and graduation, first birthdays. I mean, people, everybody had to get creative
Yeah.
during that time. So it was very hard, that all the events just kind of corporate events just completely stopped.
Yeah.
And it's like you got a call and they're like, you're booked out all the way through December.
Mhm.
And come March, they said, we're just going to cancel for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So it was very scary.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah. But so you picked up some business, and
Mhm.
and obviously you're still here.
I'm still
You
here.
managed,
Yes.
and so your customer base obviously remembered you, stuck with you, and supported you during a pretty scary and tough time, right?
Mhm.
For the business community
Yes, I
in
can't
your industry.
tell you how many times I've seen or people have called me and like, "Oh, you're still in business? Oh, I'm so thankful," So I'm like, "Yes." Yeah. So, yeah, I think, being in business for the last 30 years, um we have decade long clients,
Right.
and we have built, relationships with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a relationship type business.
Sure. So your staying power is definitely
Yes.
strong, and with those relationships, people remember and think about you when there are
Mhm.
special events and activities in their lives. So
Yes.
that's really
Mhm.
neat. Well, I'm really glad to see business, as far as corporate business,
Mhm.
events and conventions are coming back to life,
Yes.
and I know that. Uh, Tacoma Pierce County area in particular is starting to see that gradual pickup, and obviously they major events and meetings are booked years in advance, but to
Mhm.
see that, I don't know, assurance,
Mhm.
that we're gonna start seeing that is probably a welcome relief for you,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I I'm just so blessed, that you have people in your life that want to see you succeed.
Yes.
And, the customers that you built relationships remember you, and, they want to use you.
Yeah.
They know that you've made their events very impactful.
Indeed.
So,
We
yes.
certainly do that. There's no question.
Yeah.
Um, so that minimum really is something that you're willing to work with people. And when I say minimum, I'm talking about smaller events, obviously baby showers, and even anniversaries and graduations for individuals, that type of thing. So although Leah and her team make some incredibly huge, impactful, uh, I call them, for lack of better words, decorations,
Or
um,
displays.
displays,
Mhm.
right? That you're also willing to work with families and smaller
Yes.
teams. So
Mhm.
yeah. See, I remember when I walked in on my 60th birthday, and
Mm.
there was quite a display for me in my office. It scared the heck out of me, frankly, because it was really quite large when I opened up my door. And I have a quite, my office is pretty small, but yeah, thank you for that,
And Claudia.
Claudia. Yeah, Claudia, I appreciate that.
Yes.
So, tell me about your most favorite job that you've taken on.
That's a hard one. I mean, there has been celebrities
Yeah,
that I've worked with, and been called back, to work with
cool,
them again.
nice.
Several of them, big time clients. And I, kind of feel like it's the most important thing is that wow factor when they walk in.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to, it could be a small event, but it's creating something that the client wanted. And
Absolutely.
when they see their dream or vision
Mhm.
and they explained it to me come through, that's the most important thing to me. I mean, there's been big, events. I could think of one I did probably maybe 10 years ago. It was for DaVita,
Mm,
and it was a bike race or something that they did to raise money.
okay.
And it was through the Northwest.
Mhm.
And they had me at each of the stops have balloons, their kickoff party, their ending event. Well, just to see the pictures, when I went to DaVita down in Federal Way, it was made into wallpaper, you know.
Wow.
And so when you walked in and went, oh my gosh, I did that, and I think that's kind of fun,
That's
and I didn't even
amazing.
know about it. So that's fun. And we've been in some world publications
Hmm.
that have been all over the world. So our pictures of our events have been on calendars and magazines. So it's a big pat on the back,
So you're quite the celebrity in your own right then.
Well, I don't look at it that way. I
Yeah.
just feel blessed. No.
Yep. Humble, humble. Okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But I've thought about one photo that I saw in particular, and I think it was maybe I'm not even going to try to remember. I'll say recent, within the past few years, but it looked like you filled an entire um, meeting venue with balloons. I mean, it looked like the entire floor was covered and
Oh,
ceiling. Do you remember what I'm talking about? And they
well,
were
I did do,
like pearlized balloons.
mhm,
Yeah.
I want to say that's about 8 years ago. I only remember because it was right
8 years ago.
around my daughter's wedding, a couple weeks after.
It was recent.
I got a call from the museum down at the UW in Seattle,
That was
and
it.
so they asked me if I could blow 36,000 16-inch pearlized balloons. And I'm like, yes,
Of
yes,
course.
absolutely. And what's so funny is there were so many other companies that said no. And I am like, how do you say no to this? This is huge. And I mean, I just have a great team, and we got a lot of people together, and we probably filled it. We only worked 3 to 4 hours a day
Okay.
blowing balloons, but we did it in a week. Then we had to maintain it
Yeah.
for 3 months.
3 months.
3 months. So, we just kind of threw them over and, over the edge, because you could kind of see it. But the artist had this idea of walking through balloons. And so it was as big as a basketball court and 12 feet high.
Wow.
So it was a pretty grand event.
I remember the photographs. It was mind blowing to see the
Yes.
photos. I can't even imagine being there to experience such a thing.
Yeah, we started off thinking, oh, we'll do it. I said, I promise I'll get it done, even if our hands are bleeding and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, But, and then we were building them up, building or blowing them out our shop. And then they were sending trucks down to get it. But with the traffic, it was the same time as the US Open. So
Oh, dear.
we had to kind of nix that idea. The traffic was too much. And so we would just take a caravan up there and we would blow balloons for 3 to 4 hours and then we were done. And we would just do that for a week and we got it filled.
Wow.
And they were
Amazing.
so thankful, the museum. They were like, I don't even know how you guys did that. Because we were thinking, like, no. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that'd be a hard pass.
So
wouldn't it?
that was, I mean, it's so hard, to even think back about all the different events we've done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I know we did Pepsi's 100th, Columbia, when Columbia Bank, 20, I think it was their 20th
Mhm.
anniversary. I mean, we've been a part of so many different companies, big events. It's
Yeah,
very exciting. I just
it's
still think we
wonderful.
do. We just did an event for Pepsi recently, just Tuesday.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So your reputation precedes you.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
So,
that.
mhm.
I love that. So tell me, Leah, how do you market your business? How do you get your name out there? Obviously, you have a strong customer base, but it's not something that you're going to order balloons, every week or
Mhm.
month. So how do you get the word out and promote yourself?
Um, Really, it's relationships.
Mhm.
In the beginning, we did do every bridal show. We did, um, the chamber used to have big business
Expos,
expos.
yeah.
We did that. We've done corporate, events.
Hmm.
Um, and that's kind of how we've gotten our name out there. I still advertise in some
Hmm.
publications. Um, but truly it's Facebook has now come out, and it's been word of mouth, and that's I'm just very thankful for that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just people talk, and
Hmm.
it's where I get a lot of different clients.
Well, it's just amazing, because there's some venues where, the interior is just grand and lovely and beautiful, but there's a lot of um, venues and locations where you go, whether it's inside or outside, um, where well, let's just say it's very conventional,
Mhm.
just a large space with nothing, no architectural, you know,
Mhm.
interest or anything like that. And so balloons are just a wonderful way to fill space, number one, and to create focal points that can really add you know a sexiness right to the room. So
Mhm.
whatever theme you're going with, I mean, you've come up with some amazing stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely clever and fun.
And I think a lot of it is my thing is building relationship with event planners
Hmm.
is a big one. And they trust you with their events because it's
Right.
their name is also on the
Of
line.
course.
And, we just did a big event
Mhm.
for Seattle Premier
Okay.
events. And she had the contract for Sanmar and their 50th gala. And it was put on hold because of COVID,
Right.
um, for, was it 2 years? And I mean, and they kept it quiet that Macklemore showed up for
Right.
to sing, at the dinner. And so that was one of the big grand events that we just did recently. I want to say it was in September of last year.
Okay.
Lots of gold and black and silver balloons, but that was a convention center room,
Wow.
and it was totally transformed,
Yes. Yes.
you
I saw
know.
pictures of that too.
Yes. And it's kind of fun to see, that event,
Mhm.
how many people have used that, publication
Mhm.
or the pictures on that for all the different businesses that were involved for that event.
Yes. Yes.
The aerialist, and it was just like, oh, that's our work right there.
Yeah, you were showcased throughout.
Yes, and we even put it on our big truck now.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yeah,
That worked out well.
yeah, it really did, really did.
That's cool. So, what do you think is the secret of excellent customer service?
Um, Listening,
Mm.
which sometimes is hard because I think we have creative people are like, oh, I can do this, and you have to really kind of wait and let the person tell you what they're expecting, and execute it for them.
Mm.
And I go the extra mile to make sure that a room is perfect. A lot of times, if I'm doing a bridal shower or a wedding,
Mhm.
they will express something to me,
Mhm.
and I will walk in and go, "This is not how they wanted it." And if I have to tell the caterer or something because I want it to be their vision, their dream day, whether it
Right.
is a baby shower or whatever.
Sure.
And I do have like a client that I did just do on Monday,
Mhm.
and he likes me to walk through the venue with him to see if I see anything that needs to be taken out and
Oh,
or added or maneuver. And he just says, "Leah, you have the authority to change things."
I
But I'm
trust you.
like, "Yep." He said that. I'm
I
like,
like that.
I'm just doing your balloons." But I just, built those relationships. And I think even the relationships where somebody, it's like you can do whatever you want.
Mm.
This is the budget. You know what I like. You've never
Mhm.
failed me. Go for it.
It must be marvelous to have that kind
It
of
is.
confidence,
It is.
right?
It is. Well, I don't know about the confidence,
Well,
but
they've got confidence in you,
so yeah.
and that's a lot of trust to place on you. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I kind of said, okay, we'll be like this. And, I feel like I go the extra mile too, is if somebody needs like a little something, balloons here or there, I'm not going to go a nickel and dime.
Right.
You owe me 25 more dollars or,
Mm,
150. I just, rather do it and make sure they're happy with it. I let them know
mhm.
I'm not charging you, for this. I just want it to look good for your event.
Nice.
Add something in.
That's
Yeah.
why they call you back
Yeah.
again and again.
hmm
Another question for you. What do you think are the most important aspects of maintaining a good relationship with your supplier?
Well, your supplier makes you look good.
Right.
And just, I'll just use a for instance
Mm,
is that I when during COVID a
mhm,
crumble cookie opened,
mm,
and I needed to go pick up balloons. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy a big box of cookies and
mhm,
take it up there to them
mm,
and just let them know how much I appreciate them. And I do that at the holidays,
mhm.
something that, and really telling people how much you appreciate them. Because there's been times that I've needed something in a pinch. Um, and you're like, I really need this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, and they've come through like you wouldn't believe.
So with the supply chain issue and everything else, like you still have not been
I work
harmed, impacted.
Well, it's impacted me, but
Mhm,
I mean, I am like, tell people it's hard for me to get products
mm.
still. Helium. I mean, sometimes there's a helium shortage. Sometimes, it's
Wow.
trying to get the balloons. And I'm like, please let me know in advance.
Mm,
Wait, let's get your event going so I can get your balloons ordered.
sure.
And we might have to, go with a slightly different color, but I yeah, feel so blessed that, you know, I even had a job last year. It was for Imagine Dragons,
Oh,
the band,
yeah.
and they wanted over 1,000 4-foot balloons
Oh my.
in certain colors, and it was if I didn't have a relationship built already with
Mm,
some of these vendors that I use, they would have looked at me like, "Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah,
In your dreams?
yeah."
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, we were able to go to went to the manufacturer for me and
Mhm.
everything, drop shipped them so the band could have their balloons for their concerts.
You lucked out.
I did.
Yeah.
So,
So, talk about supply chain issues. My understanding is the cost of helium has gone up
it has.
exponentially.
hmm
Yeah. So That can't be easy to explain to your clients why something is costing so much more
Well,
now, right?
well, it's not only helium, it's
The
cost of
balloons.
product.
Yeah.
It's, you have to pay your employees well to maintain them.
Yeah.
Because if you're treating your employees like, try to treat the suppliers and different things like that, your employees will work for you.
No, absolutely. If you
Because
take care of
they're,
them.
yeah, take care of them.
Mhm.
So that's my big thing is I don't have a very high turnaround. I have a couple people that have worked 20 plus years and they
Oh
just come for
my.
certain, holiday of work and different things like that.
Sure.
But yeah, it's the same thing as recognizing and making people feel appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, when we talk about our customers, I mean, we have to be equally cognizant of how we take care of our staff,
Hmm.
uh, because happy staff means happy customers,
Yep.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So tell me, what's the favorite part of what you do as far as running your business?
My favorite
Mm.
part, well, now that I'm a grandmother of 3 boys, my favorite thing is probably that I really kind of get to work and also be able to be in their lives,
Nice.
help my kids out with their kids.
Sure.
And I think that's right there is the big bonus.
That's the biggest bonus of all, isn't it?
Yeah, is really family.
Yeah. And
It's
being
kind
able to
of,
decide, when you're going to be able to make the time for your family and be able to pick and choose. I think that's fantastic.
yes,
Yeah.
it is. So it's kind of like you always hear God, family, and business,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think if you keep that perspective,
Hmm.
things
Amen.
things work out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Lucky you.
Hmm.
So what's the greatest success you've had in your industry?
The greatest success.
Mhm.
That's a hard. I mean, being in business 30 years is a success right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and the
By the way, you don't look
relationships.
a day older than the first time I've ever met you. So I don't know. I don't know what
And
it
how
is you
long has that
do.
been?
A couple of years. It's just a couple of years.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's all like I mean, I just feel like success
Mm,
is truly what you put your focus into.
right.
And it is, you know, my family, my business, it's friends, clients. Your clients kind of become your friends too.
They do. They do, for sure.
And,
The
everybody wants.
exceptional ones, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very good.
That's got to be rewarding, to be able to grow your relationships that way. And of course, we're not going to be friends with every single one of our clients and customers, but it's nice to know that over the years you do establish these long-term relationships, and
Hmm.
and being able to see people around town and as well as invite into your home is just that bonus, that plus,
Yes.
that especially for small businesses, I think is one of the really extra perks that we get,
Hmm.
running a small business, because the relationships seem to go much deeper, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I hit you up with that question just to follow up. So, what does success look like to you? What does that mean to you?
Mm, that's a hard. Success
Mhm.
is being able to be your own boss
Mm,
and, provide jobs for your employees
yeah.
and time with your family. That's success.
So you can have it all, right?
Mhm. You can if you put things in perspective.
That's true. Balance.
Yeah,
I've been
balance.
I've been advised that that's something that I should look into. What advice would you give to someone just starting their own business, Leah?
I would tell them to really go and talk to people
Mhm,
in the industry that you're wanting to start,
mhm.
um, and make sure it's something, that it's feasible to do,
Right.
because you don't want to get into something that, hey, it's kind of dying down, and you think you can bring it up if the industry is dying.
Mhm.
But talk to other people in it. I would even work in it to make sure it's something you love,
Mm.
because they say if it's something you love, you're not working. And I would say is to speak positive about other people. With the social media now, some people vent a little too much,
Mm.
and it's not worth it because it's on there, and you
Yeah.
just want to be not remembered for negativity. You want to
Right.
be positive, because I think even if you're in the same business as somebody,
Mhm.
we all bring a different perspective
Absolutely.
to a business. And I feel like my business is more classic
Mhm.
balloon decor, where there's other companies that do the twisting and make incredible dresses and animals and just big sculptures, where that's not my forte. And I would easily and happy to say, well, I think you better go to this person, or
Right.
but I don't have a problem doing that because I know what my limits are.
Mhm.
And I and don't undercut another, your
Competitor?
competitor. Yes,
Mm.
don't undercut your competitor just to make money, because it's really bad for everybody.
Yeah,
You're lowering the standards
absolutely.
for things.
You bet.
So those are my kind of tidbits, for starting your own business. It's very scary and hard and a lot to learn, and you're constantly learning,
Mhm.
and hire people that are smarter than you to do certain things.
That was simple for me.
Yes, but I mean, I have some great employees that are so much better at social media and different
Yes.
things so that's what I mean. Let them do what they're good at,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you can't do it
You
all.
can't do it all, nor
Mm-mm.
would you want to,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Well, Leah, I want to thank you um, for investing in the Lakewood Chamber all these years. I don't know if you realize this, but you've been a member since 2008.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. So, is there a specific reason that you have opted to be a member of the chamber for 15 years?
I feel like being a member is a relationship,
Hmm.
even though I'm not able to make it to a lot of events sometimes, or gatherings, just because of the nature of my business is
Right.
events. Um, but I appreciate that you guys know what's going on in the community, in the business world, in Olympia, and you let us know what's going on. So I don't have time to listen to the news and know all the different things that are going on. So I appreciate you just keeping us informed with the business world out there.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, I'm glad. I'm really pleased to hear that. It's one of those things where you don't necessarily want to know, but you have to know. And we try to provide you with edited and abridged versions of information so that you can absorb it in bite-sized pieces as you're going, you know, and taking care of your business and taking care of your family and your world. But obviously, it's the most important thing to know during the legislative session when something might be spiraling out of control, and we want you to be in touch with your elected officials to give your opinion, your 2 cents on an important decision that they're making about legislative issues that impact us and will be impacting us for years to come. So
Yes,
um,
I
I
appreciate that.
I really appreciate you tuning in and just getting a touch of of what's happening and keeping your finger on the pulse of that. Um, because as you said, a lot of people just don't have time to listen to the news and try to scratch through all of the information and the pages and pages and pages of information that are often just presented to us, from our elected officials, especially on the state and national level. It's a lot of information to
It is.
consume, right?
It is a
So
lot.
we do our best. We do our
Mhm.
best, and there's an awful lot of bills and pieces of legislation that not might not necessarily apply to the business community, but we want to make sure that we do our best to make that that information available to our members and try to keep it you know non-biased, but obviously present it to the business community in the most impactful way possible. So
No, and I appreciate that.
well, thank you, and thank
You're
you so much
welcome.
for supporting the chamber. We're blessed to have members that are as gifted and talented and frankly as I want to say as professional as you and being associated with businesses like Balloon Masters is a blessing to our organization. I've said this before, but our members are our chamber brand, and to have a relationship with you and hopefully for another 15 years is something that we are so very proud of, and we can't thank you enough for your continued investment. We look forward to seeing you at a future event when you have a little bit of time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And we look forward to having another major event and sharing your art with our membership and our guests because you
Absolutely.
just do some great stuff, and
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Thanks.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you all so much for joining us. I could talk for another hour with Leah. She's always so much fun, but we'll let you go for now, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Leah, again, thank you.
You're welcome.